All right, I'm here. I'm here. I swear. How to get things sent out, all the crazy stuff. So, good evening and welcome. I'm Kaya Ariana, or Kaya for short, and this is my stream working on Summer Carousel Horse by Teresa Wentzler, and trying not to get invaded by the small child who is crawling my way. Hi Naka, hi One Up Girl, Serenadia, and Elf. Welcome. A lot of people have called me Kia. It's okay. I don't mind. I understand. My English is terrible sometimes. It's my native language. Don't worry about it. So welcome. I'm continuing work. Sorry for trying to get the baby down, but she is not in the mood to go down, so I'm jumping in anyway, seeing how this works. I'm going to be continuing on with the saddle here, working in that direction, kind of working into the rear part of the horse. So I meant to prep what color I was using, and I completely forgot because I was trying to wrangle the small child, who is not happy. She wants to be with me. Did you actually figure out if you actually flubbed? Not sure because I pulled all that stitching out and I haven't gotten back to it. I wish you guys could see what I'm looking at. My husband is making a box fort out of all the boxes we've packed for the move to prevent the baby from getting to where I'm at. So that's kind of it's kind of amusing, but we'll make things work. In the new place, I will have a door, but ideally she'll be asleep most of the time, but who knows. So this pattern is quite complicated. It's actually trying to figure out the exact place. My camera is not, it got moved slightly, and now things are not quite the way I want them to be. Let's try it. Is that better? Okay. I realize it's kind of a work in progress until we actually move. Moving date is in 2 weeks. We're moving on the 19th. Gonna get out of our small 1-bedroom into a larger 2-bedroom. So yay! Twitch borked and said error. I now have my own box for it. It's kind of exciting. This one got turned slightly. There we go. That's better. So I started this one almost 2 weeks ago, and I think I've only been working on it on stream, so I think I've been making pretty good progress. I am working on even weave, over 2, 28 count. I apologize for all the baby noise. She just did not, she's been teething, so she's been super upset, and it's just... not working out. Poor little thing. So hopefully I'll be able to stream for the full time that I intend to tonight. If not, I do apologize in advance because the little one is tough. All right. Just put the last black stitch on the page. Excellent. You've made such amazing progress on your Pokemon Stitch, Elf. I enjoyed watching you today on your stream. I'm going to give a quick shout out to Something Elf. She's working on this massive Pokemon Stitch. It's all 151 of the original Pokemon first generation. And she's about a little more than halfway done. She's been in progress for almost a year. And it's just huge and crazy, but it's so cool. Definitely check her out and check out her Instagram and see that stitch in progress. Yeah, I'm hoping I can at least get this back part of the saddle done, and then I can start moving into other colors again. I only can do brown for so long. Excited to see it all come together. Yeah, I'm excited for you. Watching you makes me go, I want to do one like that. I want to do the most massive cross stitch ever. And then watch my husband roll his eyes at me and kind of glare. He tolerates my cross stitching obsession. He knows that it's kind of a losing battle. And I love him for it. Excellent. So stream schedule coming up, I'll definitely be streaming next week, and then the following week will really depend on where we are in the packing process. I would like to stream at least one day the week that we move. Definitely will be streaming the Friday before we move, because we've got to do a bunch of stuff that day. And then once we get everything packed and moved, we're actually, the following week after we move, we're actually going immediately out of town on a camping trip. My husband and I are heavily involved in the Society for Creative Anachronism. We're both in the SCA, and we met at the event that's coming up at the end of this month down in San Diego, and so we have to go. Definitely have to go. And we'll be going, and that's Memorial Day weekend, so there might be a mini stream hiatus as we get ready to go to war and have some fun. I always say I promise pictures, but I never take pictures, so there won't be pictures. But we have a lot of fun. We camp, and we both do historical fencing, and we have a lot of fun. So he actually got me into a lot of that stuff. It's how I met him, and I people are like, how do you get into that stuff? You go to war, you meet your future husband, and you just kind of fall into it. That's my answer to that question. As he says, SCA.org. Yeah, actually, how we met, my evil twin, I have a friend at work, and who we both have longish hair. She's just more blonde than I am. Mine has gotten really dark over the years. We both wear glasses. I wear contacts half the time. We both have the same name. People mistake us for each other, so we're each other's evil twins. She took me to this camping event and introduced me to my husband, and the rest is history. And since then, we try to go every year. So far, we have been successful. I will be doing some stitching. While cross stitch, the actual cross stitch itself is a stitch found in the medieval era. The way that we do it in this modern era is not the same. So while I will cross stitch, I also do other crafts that are a little more akin to the time period, which I'm trying to get my slideshow set up, but I have to mess with some of the ratios of my pictures so that it doesn't flip the ones that are vertical horizontally. Also, once we move, I will be doing some more painting than I have been. I'll have that set up. I'll be working on a piece that I need to finish so badly, and then move on to other things. So I will become more of a diverse creative streamer than I started out with. So we'll see how what sticks and what people really enjoy watching to see what I continue doing the most. I do really like cross stitch, and I do find it super relaxing, and it's kind of fun to do on stream. Talk about what I'm doing as I do it. At least the little one seems to be in a good mood right now. So right now I'm just filling in some of the brown here on this saddle. There's some more of this purpley blue here in this ruffly bit as well. I'm finding, so I don't get lost, that I'm just going to kind of layer in slowly. I might change colors more than I normally would like to, but I think it will prevent me from getting lost in what I'm stitching, which seems to be essential in this kind of stitch. There we go. Get lost? I get lost all the time. Yeah, I had to go back a stitch. I went in between holes. Instead of going where I was supposed to go, I went in between. It's hard to get lost when lost is your permanent state of being. Oh yeah, well, not all who wander are lost. But I find it's easy to get lost sometimes in some of my cross stitching. It's like, where was I? What symbol was I working on? Why do all the symbols look the same? In this particular chart that I'm working from, it is a hand-drawn chart that was mass produced and printed, but some of the symbols are really hard to see what they are because they're in little half squares, or was confusing. I have a solid triangle and an outline triangle that I have confused for each other already once. Hopefully I won't do that too much, because I don't like to frog out stitches. I will. And a pattern like this, I find accuracy is a little more important. So if I do make some mistakes like that, I probably will take the time to frog. Hopefully I won't get to the point where I have to frog a whole lot of stitches, because that's never fun. And at any time, if anyone's ever confused about certain different cross-stitch terms, don't hesitate to ask. I realize not everyone cross-stitches, so sometimes a term is unfamiliar, and a lot of them I've recently learned myself. I've been cross-stitching for easily over a decade, if not longer. And yeah, probably longer, because I was cross-stitching in high school too. So yeah, close to 2 decades I've been cross-stitching, and I still am learning new things every day about the craft. There we go. Alright, so that's that color there. So I'm going to weave the tail under. One of the things I really take the time with for my work is I work on keeping my backs neat. For me, it's a sense of accomplishment. It makes me kind of happy So I continue with that. I have never entered any of my work into a competition. I've been told I should. I just haven't wanted to take the time to get things framed. I don't have time. Don't be like you, Elf. Messy backs or lazy backs. Because some of my backs are lazy. Because it's like, oh, I don't really want to do that. I'm going to just do this. So. Alright, so I'm switching colors again. So we're going to finding that, at least while I'm working on stream, being a little more particular about what I'm doing. Lazy backs and leaving errors. Well, it depends on what the error is. I will be honest, there are a few errors in my goose. I realized as I was starting to backstitch that I did the wrong color or did too many of another color, and I said, you know, I'm just gonna fudge this and make this work. Your backs are a war zone, Naka. My early cross-stitch backs were definitely a war zone, and then somewhere I got this idea that I wanted to have a neat back, and I started striving for it. My poor little one. Is she not having it right now, Cujo? Okay. Yeah, she's teething, and poor little thing. And she didn't nap well today, so she's tired, and she doesn't want to nap. You don't know what she wants? What is she? Oh. Good job, Cujo. Right. So Nadia, thank you for the host. Yay! I greatly appreciate that. So I'm just working on the saddle. The next part is going to be some of the ruffly bits. So after I get this color laid in, we'll move on to some blue purpley ruffly bits. No, not a knot. Go away, knot. No knots. Knots are bad. Luckily it was just a slip knot, so it came out pretty easily. Blue ruffle bits, yay! Yeah, I'm sure you speak as well about this, but as fun as Teresa Wentzler's patterns are, you start to do the same color for a while, even when it's not confetti, and you're just like, and I'm done with brown. I don't want to ever see brown ever again. Or now I'm done with gray. Don't want to see gray ever again. Totally red ruffle butts. Well, it is gonna be a ruffle butt, because here's the horse's butt, and there's gonna be ruffles all over it, so there will be ruffle butt. See how far we get before I actually have to move and take a hiatus from streaming for a little bit. If we can get some of the ruffle butt done, that would be amazing. So what's everyone working on tonight? Anyone still stitching? Anyone not wanting to go to work tomorrow? Yeah, me too, Elf. Stop reminding you that it's not weekend. Weekend comes on the day after tomorrow. Leveling well with husband stitched earlier. Awesome. I do like how your butterfly is coming along. I love the colors in the butterfly, Sal. I don't need another Sal. I don't need another Sal. I just want to sit and stream all day. Yeah, I'm with you. I would totally chill with a live Stitch and Bitch. That would be a lot of fun. I think a lot of us would enjoy just chilling with a Stitch and Bitch. Finally post your pattern. Yay! That might be a neat motif to put on my blue bag. I have a blue bag that I take to SCA events, and my stitching and stuff fits in it, and I'm actually doing all of that. I'm thinking of putting a pattern on it. Oh, Fishhead, thank you for the host. I greatly appreciate that. Naka, you're bitching whether you're stitching or not. Well, you know, sometimes we ought to do that too. I haven't gotten to really have a proper stitch and bitch in a long time. Definitely fun. That is one thing I am looking forward to with this move. If I can get back and taking the train, I get to stitch and commute, and that is so much fun. I did that back when I was living at my parents' house and was commuting an hour and by train to work. We have no sound, but we want to host you because you are an awesome lady. Hope your stream goes well. No sound, but have a lovely stream. Oh, thank you, Fishhead. Let me give a quick thank you. As long as you're not working, you're streaming Thursday, Sunday, Mother's Day weekend. I have no clue what we're doing Mother's Day weekend. I will probably, at the very least, call my mom. I did just see her not too long ago. Mother's Day weekend is next weekend. So, a week. You should call your mom, too. So I'll figure out what exactly we're doing that weekend. I know we will be going to I'll be packing. Yeah, we'll be packing. We also have a medieval event a week from Saturday that we usually go to. It's actually kind of important for Cujo. It's the anniversary of when he finally gave up smoking, which was long before I met him. So he likes to kind of commemorate that and go have fun and do some sword fighting with his friends. So we'll take that break on the Saturday to do that, but then we'll probably be packing on the Sunday. Because we definitely are going to need to do all of that. Definitely all the packing is going to have to happen. our goal is to have it all packed so that when our friends come to help us move, it's just moving stuff out of the apartment and into the U-Haul. Yeah, this will be an interesting move. This is the first time I've actually moved with a dog and with a small child. Because when I've moved in the past, I was always just me. And even when Cujo and I moved in together, had to move out of two separate places. And now we're just moving out of one place and into another. Come on, I need to get to that little hole there. Always aim for that, but always end up packing while people load the truck. Well, I figure we'll be packing, getting the end of the bedroom packed down, like the stuff that we needed the day before. We're pretty good packers, and Cujo is. I'm gonna do a shout out how amazing my husband is. Cujo is the most amazing husband ever, and everyone has best husband, and mine is definitely a best husband. He has been, well, he on his remote days with the baby, he has been packing down the bookcases and putting books in boxes and other things in boxes. Our living room is so bare looking right now. It makes me kind of sad. But the sooner that's all done, the better. So that's gonna, he's been so amazing with that. Alright. Finish up this bit of floss. And then I'll move on to the next color. There is green in this stitch, believe it or not. I don't know when it's going to get into it because there are these flowers. But I'm looking forward to getting out of... I'm actually looking forward to stitching in green again after kind of wading through the green in the goose. I'm kind of ready to get back into green. At least it doesn't seem to be green confetti. I don't think I could do green confetti. I would probably cry. And hopefully I won't play too much floss chicken here. It's getting shorter. Sorry, I'm focusing on stitching, and I usually have something to ramble on about. Uh, so I'm going to be packing up a lot of my cross-stitch stuff as well. I'm going to keep out Dogs Through Time because that starts up on the 15th again. Let's talk about the ducks. Do we really have to talk about the ducks, Naka? Do we really have to talk about the ducks? I have decided that whatever I do in terms of streaming space, I think we need to have some of the ducks behind me because if we don't have the ducks, I think everyone will be very upset that we don't get to see my duck collection. And then I have a duck that's an easy reach. He's kind of dusty. But at Disneyland, they used to do a rubber duck race for charity inside It's a Small World. It was called It's a Rubber Duck Race. I've entered quite a few ducks into It's a Rubber Duck Race, and and this is my duck, my one of my ducks. This is my medieval duck. He's a fencing duck. I'll put him here, and he's going to stab people. And he also has a shield with my heraldry on it. But he's been hanging. He's the one duck that hasn't been in with the other rubber ducks. He's been living on my shelf. So, you missed a duck. Lord Duck McDuckerson. So yeah, he raced in the waters. I actually have ducks that are designed after carousel horses, and I kind of want to get those so they're easy to see. I think that would be neat behind me to have my ducks, and thus solidify that I have the duck army. So, but specifically a rubber duck army, not just any duck army, a rubber duck army, because I think that's a little funnier than having a literal army of actual ducks. Now, for Christmas, people give me ducks. I have a Shakespeare duck that I got for Christmas. I got people give me ducks. And then, to which my husband just rolls his eyes that we now have more ducks. My dad buys rubber ducks at random and then gives them to me. The last few actually have gone to the baby, though. One of them is living at Grandma and Grandpa's house. It did not follow us home. And the others were just some small little ones that I actually had gone to her bath. I need to duplicate. On their own. The ducks start multiplying. All of a sudden we have twice as many ducks. Don't know why. Alright, so finishing with that color. Put my needle on the back side of the needle minder, doesn't always work. So now we're going to go into a little bit of ruffle. Let's see. Do the triangle is... so many pieces of this color all over right now. That's not going to work. There we go. I think that piece will work. One to 8, which Pokemon should I work on? Like, are we saying what their numbers? Like Pokemon 1, or just pick a number 1 through 8? Well, of those numbers, my favorite one is 7. I would say number 6. Naka says 6. You have 8 Pokemon to choose from. Okay. Oh, is this... Oh, color-wise, choosing where to start. Well, then you should work on Gloom, because I think he'd be cool. Because I'm assuming we're talking about the page that you've been working on. So we are doing right side up triangle, which is 775. Getting that page done quickly. I know for me, honestly, I'd be starting in the upper left corner and working my way left to right, top to bottom. But that's just me, and that's usually how I choose to work when I can work that way. Which in a way, I'm kind of working my way to the upper left corner of the horse's butt, because that's what we're doing. Because I've decided that I'm going to do the complete carousel horse before I do the border, because I think it'll be the easier way to do it. And then I'll have the center, the gold pole of the carousel horse established and can work my way that way. Gloom, Parasect go together because colors 6 is Wigglytuff, 7 is Golbat. Choosing which one to work on is like choosing your favorite something that my brain... I lost my train of thought, I'm sorry. Naka can attest to this. Having children sucks out your brain. I'm sure Saren can attest to this as well. There's times I'm like, what was I talking about? I don't remember. It's not important. And other times I can remember what I was talking about. Yeah. Though some might argue I never had my brain to begin with, so no loss, right? No, don't pack away the cuttlefish. You're gonna toss the cuttlefish at me. My favorite cephalopods are cuttlefish, and I've been joking with Cujo for a long time about, can we have a cuttlefish? Can we get a cuttlefish? And then my mom crocheted me a cuttlefish, and then another friend of mine got me a stuffed cuttlefish, so now we have cuttlefish and ducks. He also won't let me have a sunfish. I need one of those. I need an ocean sunfish. A real one. I also tease him knowing full well that the answer is no, and I would never actually want an ocean sunfish in my living room. Those things get really, really big. The fact that the Monterey Bay Aquarium, which is where I first saw an ocean sunfish and decided they were amazing, when they get too big for the exhibit that they're part of, they get released back into the ocean and they can eventually get others. Those were 2 3/4 stitches, and moving into another full stitch here. So you have approval from your mom on thought of getting through the dealership possibly increase the wage if they offer lower than what you want. That's a good idea, since you're now seeming to getting job offers now that you've got a job. It's always the way it works, isn't it? You find a job because you've needed a job, and then you start getting offers for the job that you actually wanted. Cujo says to take the job that you actually want. But don't sell yourself short. You can approach it if you have an offer of so much they come up to match it. Yeah, that's always an option to try to do that, since there is that possibility of the other HR job that you're interested in. If you can even get... I know you don't have an interview for that one yet, so... It will work out the way it's supposed to work out. That's the way it always is. Holy cow, what symbol is that? I think that's the triangle. I'm gonna go with that being a triangle. The challenge of this hand-drawn chart. I wish there was a way that you could prove that you have the original chart and they could give you a digital copy of a new updated with the easier to read, because that would be amazing. I think the dealership could be a good learning experience, but you told them 15 originally. Yeah, that's the tough part, is negotiating a wage. Alright. Okay, that. Trying not to lose where I am. Which these half stitches make it really easy to lose exactly where you are. What were you throwing at me? Oh, okay. Looks like you either start Graveler or Kadabra based on working off this card of thread. Yeah, that's also a good way to decide, okay, I have these threads and we're starting here. I always like Kadabra better than Graveler. I've never been a big fan of the rock Pokemon. I've got this one hair that's in my face. I will try to French braid my hair tomorrow so it's not in my face. I always say that, and then half the time I do French braid my hair, and the other half the time I'm too lazy to. And French braiding my hair takes a little bit of work. My hair is really long. It is down past my waist. And I keep it braided all the time so that it's not too much of a challenge, just to give you guys an idea of how long my braid is. Having the long hair makes for really great medieval hairstyles. That, and I think Cujo would cry if I ever actually cut all my hair off. He would be very sad. And then he'd cut off his beard, and then I'd be very sad. So it's a no-win for either one of us. Let's see. 1, 2. I hear the baby singing the song of her people. This is where things are getting harder to read. It's all this zigzagging. Okay. Skip 1. apologize if I'm not talking and focusing. Because I'm focusing, I've got this interesting kind of section here where it's almost doing this zigzag with 3/4 stitches. There we go. Okay, back there. Let me stitch this again. Thinking I'm getting into the part where I thought I had messed everything up. So we will see if things match up still. You have new talking, zone yourself out today. Hey, that's so good. I'm getting back into it. I was enjoying watching you work. It's always interesting to see everyone's approach to the same craft. Okay, there we go. Yay! It's actually starting to feel like something, even if it looks like a whole lot of nothing still. That's the one thing I'm kind of jealous about your Pokemon, is that it doesn't take much for it to kind of show what it's turning into, where this looks like a whole lot of mess. Okay, just seeing where things are going. You did find the mistake that you couldn't find on Gloom though and fix that one. Yay! Yay for finding the mistake and fixing it. Okay, so that does that. Then there's 2 solid, okay. 2 hole stitches. Then another hole stitch and a 3/4 stitch. But I have 151 2-inch characters, you have 1 big character. Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm just glad that starting soon it's going to start looking a little more like something else than just a weird splotch. Because you can see, here's the saddle here. There's the saddle. And then this is that. I used to know all the parts of the saddle, what they meant, named, so you got the back. But I don't remember. That was a long time ago, back when I was a Girl Scout. Going to Girl Scout camp and riding horses. Because that was so much fun. And luckily, I don't have to worry about blending filament for quite a while. Not until I get to the gold toll, and then there's some blending filament involved with some back stitching. Helps if I go into the right hole in the fabric, so this turns out the way I expect it to. Let's see, did that, and that's a 7. So down number one. All right, your eyes are dying. It's okay, one up, girl. Have a good night. I know it's really late where you are. Go to sleep. Get some rest. It was great that for you having you join me. I thank you so much. What's the overall size of the piece supposed to be on 28 count? It's supposed to be 11 inches by 13 and a half inches. It's lovely to be seen. Get some rest, and I will see you in your stream. And yes, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. All right. So getting these roughly bits going, which based on what I'm seeing with what the back stitching is going to do, it will really make it look like roughly bits more than just little bits of blue confetti. Okay, I'm going to cut and move because of where this is going. It's almost the same size for one character as my Pokemon piece. Yeah. Did you see yours is like 11 by 17 or close to it? This one is, yeah, this one's supposed to be 11 by 13 and a half. Okay. I think that's on 28 count. The pattern actually called for 14 count. Yeah, I was looking at some of those ones on the site that you linked, and I'm just like, yeah, I wouldn't do those on 14 count. I would actually take it down to the smaller count, I think, like you did, so that you could make it work. And actually maybe get fabric for it to fit on without sewing fabric together on some of the bigger ones. You like the pattern but don't have the wall space for all that. You can rest my eyes. Sorry for the lurk. Oh, it's all good, Naka. I understand. It's getting late, and I wish I could stream earlier, but between the baby and work, it makes it really difficult. I do appreciate everyone tuning in, who, especially if you've got living in a time zone that's not ideal. It's even getting late for me. I have to get up early because of work, but I'm just trying to set up a consistent streaming days, so as I work towards affiliate. You're considering merging decor with the BF. Yeah, I don't think Cujo would object to a cross-stitched Pokemon wall hanging. Well, he's not as into Pokemon as I am. He would still appreciate the work and what it is. I actually, now that we're going to be living together in our own place, our own place, I definitely want to get some of the work that I have framed, either figure out how to do it myself or have it done. Where did I go? Because I've gotten a wedding announcement that I made for us that has been sitting folded up, and then I've got the birth announcement I did for my daughter. Those are things I like to have up on the wall. Plus, I have other dragon stitches that I did that I'd love to have up. Yay, cross stitch Lincoln Zelda piece. I could see maybe doing one like that for Cujo someday. I think he'd enjoy it. We're Legend of Zelda fans. We always like the game. Breath of the Wild, we have mixed feelings about. There were things we really liked about it and things that just really upset us about it. Okay. I might have been correct with the stuff I picked out on the last stream, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm glad I did it. Because things look like they're matching up better now. Now that I can tell where things are. Let's see. 4, skip 1. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, skip 1. Do 2, do 3, skip 1. Hopefully I'll get the carousel horses in my lifetime. Get all 4 of them done with my seasonal dragons and the carousels. We're just going to redecorate the entire apartment in cross stitch. All cross stitch everywhere. Nothing else on the walls, just cross stitch. Considering most of the stuff on the walls currently in our place is some of my student artwork from college. I had it when I was in my own place, and then we just moved it here as well, just for some fun stuff put stuff on the walls. Is a half. And this one's a full stitch. This is another 3/4. And this is another full stitch, and then another 3/4 stitch. Okay, now where are we going? I think I'm going to just do those couple stitches and then change colors. So this goes right up against that X. Bonus, thank you for the host. You're up late. All right. So I'm not sure if this is exactly what I stitched that I had picked out yesterday, but it now matches up nicely and I can tell where I've been, which is just as important. Thank you, Bunnets. I appreciate that. I was gonna say, you're up really, really late. Late night working, I'm guessing. There we go. It was kind of warm today, so I've definitely been drinking a little more water than I do at times. Let's see. Going to come in with, so we're going to do the 7, which is 3, 4, 1, which I do need to get more 3, 4, 1. Because that's, can't believe I didn't buy more when I bought more floss, because I don't have very much of it. That may have to wait till after we move. Good news is there's a Joann's not that far from where we're moving to. In fact, Joann's is much closer than the Joann's here now. Cujo, if she's getting to be too much, I can end early. It's okay. Okay. I need more water anyway. I can take a break here in a bit. I scroll so much. Remembered again that I need to save completions this year to my past projects folder for stream. Yeah, that way they show up. Because that's just as important. I meant to pull that apart better than I did, but that's okay. You don't want the goose wishes to be forgotten. I won't put dogs, cats, fancy, or Pokemon in there until they're done. Yeah, I was getting some of my pictures together to start a slideshow. I'm trying to figure out exactly where it should go in my frame in my scene because of how much is going on. But definitely thinking about it. And I was looking at my dogs and cats in my jungle and going, no, those aren't done yet. Those don't go in the completed works, even though they're complete until next month. But they're not complete. All right. Yeah, I get you don't want to remember have to replace the pictures every month. Yeah, that would get to be a pain. I do kind of want to put together a collage on Instagram of all 12 pictures leading up to the finish of those stitch-alongs. I think it'd be fun to see how it progresses. I'm excited to find out what the next part of Dogs and Cats Through Time is. I know we've got to wait about 11 more, well, 10 more days because living in the States, we get the release on the 14th because of midnight in the UK. So I definitely want to know what we're stitching next. I'm impatient. I can't wait. I gotta know now. That is definitely the hardest part about the stitch-alongs. Is like, I want to do more, but there is no more. But I want to know what's next, but they haven't told us yet. Got you gotta switch other projects to not try not to be antsy for the latest one. Yeah, I'm working on. I know I said I'd go back to fish today, but I haven't gone back to fish yet. I'm working on the Frosted Pumpkin spring picture because I loved the color palette. I had to. It's so pretty. And then I'll go back to fish. I promise. I need to get back to the fish for my mom. I only have 3 more pages left, but I haven't been really excited about blue or yellow or gray confetti. I've got a couple other stitch-alongs that I'm not working on that I think that I like the idea of having 2 going, one that you start on the 1st and one that you start on the 15th so that it spaces out, you stitch them up and you can go back to your big projects. I'm really enjoying that right now. I'm glad that I've got that going. You have too many projects, especially with losing so much time going back to work. Yeah, I did a lot of stitching this summer when I was waiting for the baby to be born because it was so hot and I was so miserable and I just was sitting on the couch with the dog in the air conditioning, just trying to drink all the water and only going outside when the dog needed to go out. So I tried to walk, I tried to do all that, but it was just so hot and so miserable. Wish I had discovered more of what was going on Twitch then. I would have definitely have gotten to follow people sooner. But it wasn't meant to be until it was. And I'm okay with that. I met you guys when I was supposed to meet you guys. I am really proud of myself. I only have 7 works in progress right now. And it should stay at that number or lower. I really don't have... I do have fabric for another one, but I don't have all the floss and the specialty thread for it, so there's that. That helps a bit. And I can't really order anything until after we move. I want to wait till everything's squared away and we've figured out exactly how it's all going to work out. And once that's the case, then I will know when I can get more of the specialty fabrics and stitches and things like that, and floss and braids. Metallic stuff, yay, Krennic. Yeah, the mermaid stitch has some really pretty Krennic braid that I've never used before, so that should be fun. And then there's the Biscornu. I'm excited about the Biscornu. You're down to 5 works in progress. Pokemon being such a time suck, I don't want to go any higher than 5. In fact, we'd be happy to drop a few off that list. Are you counting dogs and cats as 1 whip or 2 whip? You think she's finally ready for bed, Cujo? You'll do the Biscornu because it's going to be fun and easily portable. Well, I'm actually getting to the point where I'm starting to get tired. I got up early this morning because of the baby and everything. And she's getting tired. I did want to go my full 2 hours, but I don't think that's going to happen tonight. As I can feel myself starting to fade. And I don't want to crash in the middle of the stream. So looks like, let me finish up this row that I'm on so I don't lose where I am. And you're counting them as 2 for 2 separate pieces. So, but those are the 2 that count but don't count. Yeah, I've getting ready to move, and between work and the little one, I can feel myself just kind of fading. So I've got 3 more stitches because I can see I was going to finish this row, but I actually have 1 more stitch in the next row that would make sense to finish, and then I really will know where I am, and I won't be lost for next time. And I won't be frogging stitches. So I think I did pretty good today. I got finished up the brown part of the saddle and started working on this, as we're going to refer to it as the ruffly butt part of this stitch. So my goal, I'm hoping to get on a little earlier tomorrow to stream. I do get off much earlier than I did today. There we go. Weave that under so I know that I'm done with that color. Well, at least that in that section. So I will be streaming tomorrow. I might be able to get on a little earlier. I've slotted myself for 7 p.m. Pacific time, but if I can get on earlier, I might. And so I finished up this part of the saddle, and then I got in this ruffly bit here, which is a little hard to see right there, but you can kind of see there on stream. So my goal tomorrow is to finish up this section in here and at least get this to match up. I've got some empty spots in here that I'd like to get back and fill. Maybe if I pick up the color over here, I'll fill it, because I'm working back to the horse's tail. Do this. There's a big ruffly thing here on its butt, and that's what we're going to do. So I did want to go a little bit longer than I did intend this, but I'm starting to fade, and the baby's ready for sleep, and I'm ready for sleep. Hopefully, once we're all settled, new place, I can figure out a stream schedule that I can stream at least on one of my days off, so I don't have to stream in the middle of the night, almost, for some people. Yes, all the ruffles. So I want to thank everyone who has been here. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Saren, Fish, and Bunnets for the hosts. I greatly appreciate that. It means a whole lot, just having you guys out here and supporting me as I start the streaming adventure. So you guys, everyone, have a good night. Don't stay up too late. And I will see you guys all tomorrow. Thank you for joining me.